All right, hey, welcome back to Car Talks, where I rant, ramble, rave, and word vomit my thoughts on training, life, and fitness. And a little bit about today. Carries are the cure. Specifically farmer's carries, suitcase carries, front rack carries, overhead carries, whatever it is. Carries are the cure. And I think I posted this on Instagram yesterday, at least at the time of the filming. A lot of times, especially with kids, when we look at the function of the core, when we look at the function of how our core stabilizes the pelvis in relation to the spine and the rib cage, a lot of times when we have to create some of that control, people will sit there and train the core through sit-ups and planks and stuff like that, and that's all good, but we got to actually go through some dynamic movements, right? And walking with weights or carrying stuff seems to be a pretty good option, because as those legs move and that weight starts to get displaced, then all of a sudden your body, you have to figure out how to stabilize that load in order to not hurt your back. And so I think especially for certain individuals, carries are a great cure for a weak core, right? So carries the cure there. And you also can think about, they're also a good cardio option, right? Because when you pick up some heavy weights and start walking, well, at some point you have you have to figure out how to breathe. You have to be able to use the diaphragm. You have to expand into your stomach. I love using carries as a form of cardiovascular work with some of my adults, right? So some of their aerobic work isn't running, it's not rowing, but it's a series of exercises that, if done at the right intensity levels and done in a consistent and consecutive manner, increase the amount of oxygen they have to try to use to keep going. And carries seems to be one of those things, especially like a farmer's carry or a front rack carry. They tend to elicit some heavy breathing and start to work into some aerobic capacity there. So that's one of them. So it's just something to think about today, because if you got a weak core, or if you're trying to do some conditioning work or aerobic work that isn't running or rowing or sitting on a stationary bike, carries the cure. And until next time, we'll see you in the passenger seat.